If you are new to tarot and looking for your first or one of your first tarot decks to purchase, and you don't want it to break the bank and you want it to be easily available, this is the video for you. I have 5 decks here that are all mass market, meaning that you can find them on Amazon, Book Depository, or they're just overall easy to find for a relatively affordable price. I think these make really good beginner decks because first of all, they're based on the original RWS, which is Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot, which are these images that we probably all know. But if you're watching this video, you're probably not really interested in that deck, or maybe you already have it and you want something a little different, but still easy to read with. All of these decks also have really good guidebooks to help you through the meanings of the cards, and they're just pretty much all really great and easy and fun to shuffle, which I think is really important because it helps you with the experience of reading tarot and makes the experience more fun. Some of these I have already talked about in previous videos, but overall I think these are a couple of the best beginner tarot decks, and I wanted to have a little variety of decks to choose from. So let's get started. One that I just have to get out of the way because I know everybody talks about this, but it is really good. It is the Lightseers Tarot. Not only are the cards really pretty, the images relatable and really easy to read intuitively because you can see what is going on. You can understand the emotion behind these cards. These are cards that I can actually riffle shuffle. And I am a horrible riffle shuffler, okay? But also overhand shuffling is really great with these. They come in a box that perfectly fits both your deck as well as the guidebook. So you don't have to like purchase a separate bag, but you can just keep them in a box. And speaking of the guidebook, this one is also really great. For every card, you get the image here, you get the title, and then you get Lightseer and Shadowseer card meanings, which means the upright, or if you choose to read reversals, you can read them in reverse as well. I do not necessarily recommend reading reversals as a beginner. What I personally did is I learned all the upright card meanings, and then slowly with some decks that I felt comfortable with, I started using reversals, and I don't even always use them. And then it also comes with an interpretation as well as sort of a little quote at the end to capture the energy of the card. And I think this deck does an amazing job of providing you with keywords that are actually practical and understandable. It also comes with some information in case you are new to tarot and what it is, how the tarot is set up with the major and the minor arcana. Overall, an amazing deck for beginners if you aren't really interested in the standard RWS cards, but you want something that is more modern and relatable. I use this for client readings all the time, by the way. Another one that some of you might be sick of hearing about, but it is really great. It is my Good Karma Tarot. I don't have it in the original box anymore, but the box has the same image as this. The Good Karma Tarot. I didn't like the box that it came in, so I did have to make a bag for it, but this is what it looks like. The bags are really fun. They are yellow and it really captures the energy of the cards. If you've been feeling that tarot feels a little bit too negative for you, or you feel like a lot of tarot cards really focus on the negative aspect and you want a deck that sort of eases you into the craft of tarot, then I think the Good Karma is really great. The images are fun. I love the art style on this because it's really fun and sort of light. It doesn't shy away from tough topics because tough things and tough situations are part of life, and the tarot is supposed to represent life. But again, I feel like you can really tell what is happening in these images and you can really capture the emotions. And what I especially like about this deck is that it sort of zooms in on faces, so you can really capture the emotions in the card, so you really understand sort of what is going on or what the card is supposed to mean. And this deck also comes with an amazing guidebook. For every major arcana card, we have the card on one page and then a bunch of information on the card on the other page. We have sort of a quote, we have an interpretation, then a little bit that goes into symbolism, as well as a good karma tip. This guidebook also goes into the history of tarot, how you can use a tarot, what it can do for you. And at the end of the guidebook, it comes with a couple of card spreads that you can do, and it helps you walk you through them. And this is also an easy deck to shuffle. This cardstock is a little bit more glossy than the Lightseers Tarot, but I don't really mind that. I don't like really glossy cardstock, but this is like perfectly fine. And it's only reflecting because I have a ring light like right there. So for the next deck, I have one deck of like a series, I guess, of decks, which are all published by Llewellyn. So you have these boxed sets of a tarot deck as well as a guidebook. And the one that I chose for today is the Mermaid Tarot, just because I think it offers something a little bit different from what we have already seen. This is a themed tarot deck. It is about mermaids. So if you feel connected to water, if you feel connected to the ocean and the concept of mermaids, this might be a really great deck to start with. And what these boxed Llewellyn sets all have is, this is a huge book, okay? This is like a genuine thick book, almost 300 pages thick book. And we have the image here on the side, and then we have interpretation, upright, reversed, and so forth. There are 2 whole chapters at the start to help you go through the flow of the deck, as well as how to actually do a tarot reading. And there are spreads as well as spells at the end of the guidebook. So for the cards themselves, when it comes to Llewellyn, you either love or hate the cardstock. I really like it because it makes it easy to shuffle. The cards are a little bit smaller than standard tarot size, so they're really easy to handle. And yes, these cards are a little bit more glossy than maybe you would like to, but if you don't create content for yourself and you're just learning to read tarot for yourself, these are really great. So we sort of see the seasons and the elements in every suit, which was interesting to me because the suit of wands is the element of fire, and I was really interested in seeing how they do the element of fire in the ocean. But oh my god, do they do that so well. Look at that. I think that is really, really awesome. There's a lot of great symbolism in these. The backs are really, really fun as well, and I feel like because they are mermaids, it has a little bit less of a tarot-y feel, so that is also why I think it's great for beginners. And the shuffle is so amazing, but it's amazing with all Llewellyn decks. And if you don't really love the mermaid theme, then there's also one with a dog theme or a witch theme in case you're interested. And there are a bunch more, but those are the ones that I have and love. Okay, the next one is also published by Llewellyn, but it's not like a boxed set like the one that I just showed you is. And I need you to push yourself a little bit out of maybe what you think tarot is, because this is the Witchling Academy Tarot. So if any one of you is interested in anime, manga, that sort of stuff, then this might be perfect for you. I also feel like this is a crossover between Harry Potter as well as Avatar: The Last Airbender. And I did an entire video on this recently. I walked you through the entire story of the deck. So if that is something you're interested in, definitely check out the video in the cards here up somewhere on screen. But we follow this witchling girl who goes to a magical school, and she just has this amazing journey that we get to follow her on. And it really helps you to bring the story of the cards to life. It really helps you connect to the story and to the card meanings. Anyway, here are the card backs. I think they're really cute. And yeah, it is anime. This is Charlie, the little witchling that we follow in this deck. And I think the images are really clear. I like that the line work is so sharp. That is especially what I love about tarot art, is when the lines are really sharp and it's really clear what the story is, what the image is, because it helps me with interpretations. It helps me connect to my intuition when I really can tell what I'm looking at. So yeah, if you want to learn a tarot in like a storytelling way and you like anime, then I 100% recommend this deck. Again, it's also an amazing shuffle. It's a little bit smaller than standard tarot size. I don't mind. That is the Witchling Academy Tarot. It also comes with a little handbook or the guidebook, which has all the stories in there, as well as some spells and tarot spreads. I do not love the box for this because the cards aren't really very sturdy in here. So I'm still gonna make a bag for this, but that is something that you might want to know. And the last deck is sort of a cheat because it's not really based on RWS, but it's a Marseille deck, meaning that instead of having very scenic minor arcana like these, here with the Six of Swords, we have an actual picture, an actual image to look at. But the Tattoo Tarot is a Marseille deck, meaning that the minor arcana are pips. So instead of having the Three of Cups card with 3 people sort of celebrating, we literally have 3 cups. But what I do think, why I think this is good for beginners is, first of all, within the pips, we can see some extra things to help us sort of remember or remind us of the celebration aspect here of this card. And in this 10 of coins, yes, we see 10 coins, but we get this feeling of abundance through the extra imagery that is in there. Here with the 5 of coins, we also see like despair, we see struggles. The major arcana are illustrated, and if you are into tattoo art, this is just so stunning. I love the images of this deck, the artwork of this deck. And if you want to learn the card meanings without getting too distracted maybe of the artwork, so if you really want to remember, like memorize the card meanings, then I think a pip deck like this could be really, really great for you. These are the card backs. This is probably the thickest, the biggest tarot deck that I have here. I can riffle shuffle this, but this is the toughest to do so, and my hands aren't really in great shape anyway. But I think the guidebook here is really good, and it doesn't look like much, this little guidebook. But just the keywords that they have written here, it really makes so much sense, and it really is no nonsense. So instead of where with the Mermaid Tarot, for instance, or the Mermaid Tarot guidebook, you really have to read through an entire interpretation and you sort of have to get the keywords from there, this one just gives you the keywords, which can make it easier for you to craft, to create your own story. That is what the Lightseers Tarot does as well. So you don't get whole written interpretations like story-wise, but you get more keywords. So I personally think the Tattoo Tarot is a really practical way to go about learning the tarot, but I also know that it's not for everyone, which is why I wanted to have a variety of tarot decks here. This is also one that I use for clients all the time. So those were my 5 recommendations for mass market tarot decks. If you are a beginner, I would love to hear your thoughts on any of the decks that I have mentioned here. I know that I've done a couple of these videos before, but first of all, they do really well on the channel, so I really enjoy making them because I know that people are actively looking for this, so I want to provide that information for you out there. But also, I just love talking about why I love certain decks, and especially now that I have recently acquired the Witchling Academy Tarot, I really think that it could be amazing for beginners if you are looking for that way to learn through a story, and if you like anime as well. If you want flip throughs and all of my thoughts on these decks, check out my playlist of my tarot flip throughs. I'll link it in the eye up here as well as on the screen. You can book a personal one-on-one tarot reading with me also through the link on the screen or the link in the description box. Subscribe to this channel if you want to see more like this. I also offer memberships where you get access to weekly video episodes of my podcast and my private Discord community and fun emojis to use in the comments and live chat. For now, I just want to thank you so much for watching and hope to see you next time.